Hi, Wellham fam. Welcome back to our channel. I'm Debbie,
I'm Darren.
and this is Cwtch Corner, but
Yeah.
it is part 2,
Of the Harry Potter fantasy cast
our fantasy, you see.
for the TV series.
Yeah.
It's a catchy title, isn't
Yeah, I know.
it?
No, obviously the first part went off last week,
Yep.
and we have no idea whether any of you liked it. But
No.
either way, it gives me a couple of weeks where
Yeah.
I don't have to sit up too long. So,
Yeah.
it's all for the good.
Yeah. So let's catch up with where we were last week. Madame Limpy Maxine.
Now, of course, Hagrid's true love. She's the headmistress of course, Beauxbaton's school, which is a wizarding school in France.
Yeah.
And she is, we presume she is part giantess or part giantess. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not that she'd ever admitted
she'd
to it,
never admit
even
it,
in
no.
the books.
No.
And in fact, she got quite huffy with Hagrid over it.
Yeah.
But this was before they went camping and what have you.
Mm.
But the actress that played her was spot on and
Yeah.
absolutely perfect. So it was difficult, but we found
Gwendolyn Christie.
Now, it was a go-to, really. Let's face facts here. It couldn't have been anybody else.
Yeah. So she's a very good actress.
Yes, she is. Very good.
She's been in Star Wars. She was Phasma in Star Wars. She was in Game of Thrones.
Yes, she was. Brienne of Tarth.
And she was in Wednesday.
Yeah.
She played the headmistress in Wednesday.
She did. I mean, honestly, I really love her as an actress. She's amazing.
Yeah.
Pulling off Madame Maxine would be easy for her. But what I think should be the stipulation that anybody they're getting, they have to read the books.
Yeah.
Because they need to read the books to understand their characters properly. They can twitch around with them and what have you and tweak them, but I think it's important that they actually know who they're playing.
Yeah. Right. The next one is Professor Minerva McGonagall. Now,
you guys know from my other bits, I absolutely adore Maggie Smith.
Yeah.
If there was any possible way of having her as Minerva McGonagall, I would go for it. However, McGonagall should have been younger than she should have been. I don't regret it at all. No. And that is nothing against Maggie Smith because she played McGonagall perfectly. But we decided that as there would only one on the older side lady that could play Minerva McGonagall, we'd go younger than and more realistic to the timeline.
Yeah. We've got Michelle Gomez.
Yeah.
Michelle Gomez has been in numerous different things. She was in Green Wing. She's been in Doctor Who. She was in The Adventures of Sabrina. She played the head witch in that.
She is Scottish as well.
She is, yes.
And in Green Wing, she keeps banging on about her squirrel, which was her hair turned back in a ponytail. Yeah, so she is nuttier than squirrel poo.
She plays nutty. She plays funny. She can play serious, sinister. And
she has got the ability, and I just think, she would make an amazing Minerva McGonagall. As I said, if I had my way, I'd cast Maggie Smith in Neville Longbottom's grandmother's position. But yeah, it was just nice. It was nice going and taking the character of somebody that was more true to the age of the books.
All right. The next one is Alistair Mad Eye Moody.
Now, again, he was perfect, wasn't he? The one they had in the film.
Yeah.
And so this is the biggest problem we had. We had to sort of like separate ourselves out from characters that we loved to other ones we'd like. So
we had Nick Frost. And Nick Frost has been in different things. He does a lot of things with Simon Pegg.
Yeah.
Because he was in like Shaun of the Dead and Paul and Hot Fuzz and things like that. He's always been different things as well.
And he is a little bit nutty.
He
And
is, yes, yeah.
he would make a brilliant Mad Eye. He really would. He's got that sort of zany, slightly bonkers look about him anyway.
Yeah.
I say that lovingly because my uncle does, and he knows that. So, yeah, my uncle could have played Mad Eye for that matter, but you know.
Right. So we've got Moaning Myrtle.
Yep.
Moaning Myrtle, we've gone with Ella Bruce-Laurie.
Ella.
Now, she's in, the only thing I know she's in called The Midwives.
She's also in a TV program called Passenger, the Chelsea Detective again, which keeps hopping up.
Yeah, I have to have a look at that.
Yeah, I'm going to have to because, you know. She played Sister Francis in Call the Midwives.
Yeah.
She also played Annabelle Dinsdale in All Creatures Great and Small, the newer one.
Yeah.
That's something else I've got to watch actually.
Yeah.
But she has got a sort of ethereal way to her. I've seen her in more than that, I will be honest. But she has got sort of like ethereal bit. She is not as young as Moaning Myrtle would be. However, neither was the actress who played Moaning Myrtle. And in actual
I believe she was about 40, in fact, when she played
Moaning
Myrtle.
I think that, I mean, she's not as old as that, but it would work. It really would work because you do need somebody older to play Moaning Myrtle. But yeah.
And then we've got Nearly Headless Nick.
Which is, of course, the Gryffindor ghost.
Yep. And they've missed out a lot with that because he missed the Death Day party.
Yeah.
Which was a massive part of the book.
It was. I mean, he was murdered on Halloween.
Yeah.
And he wants to join the Headless Hunt, basically, and he asks Harry and Ron and Hermione whether they'd come to his Death Day party. And ghosts can't obviously taste food, but they had like rotten food and things like that the ghosts would sort of float through.
Yeah.
So, you know, awful whining band and music.
Swords, wasn't it?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. But yeah, it's, I don't know, you sort of missed a lot of Sir Nicholas's, you know, story.
Yeah. They had to shove in the bits they found out on that into other places as well.
They had to, yeah.
Yeah. For Nearly Headless Nick, we've gone with Stephen Fry.
Now he's quite good. He's got a good strong voice to him. He can play posh. He can play, you know, he's
a bit nutty. They Stephen Fry's
typical English
bits.
gent sort of thing.
In most of all the Blackadder series. Well,
yeah.
In all of them, but not in all of them. But he did them. He's done with Fry and Laurie comedy bits. I say he's done.
But again, he's another
things.
actor that's played a lot of parts.
He was in Bones.
No, what I will say is the perfect one, of course, for Sir Nicholas was the actor that played him the first time. Why can't I never remember his name?
John Cleese.
That's it. And so John Cleese took the role and was Nearly Headless Nick.
Yeah.
However, Stephen Fry, I could see in that role as well.
Yeah.
So that's why we went with him.
Yeah. Garrick Ollivander.
Now, of course, Ollivander is the wand maker. He remembers every wand that he ever sold.
Yeah.
There's actually quite a bit more to him. He's not a bad person, but there's something that is a little bit creepy about him at the same time. He wasn't on Voldemort's side or anything like that, but he just had, I suppose, an interesting way of looking at things. But yeah, so he was actually a little bit difficult to find a replacement for because
we went for him. It was Sir Ian McKellen.
Now, honestly, when we came up with him,
I
thought, got him.
Yeah. Because
and until then, we really didn't think that
he was supposed to be. He was. They went to him to see if he would play Dumbledore.
I could
after
see
the first
him
one
as
died.
Dumbledore.
But the guy who played the first Dumbledore didn't like him. So he said he wouldn't do the part. Plus, it would have been really pushing it because he also played Gandalf in Lord of the Rings. And the similarities between Gandalf and Dumbledore are very close.
Yeah, it wouldn't have worked. It really wouldn't. But I think as Ollivander, he could play him well.
Yeah.
And he wouldn't have to sport a great big white beard, which would probably be a relief to him.
No, he's been in many things. He was like X-Men, played Magneto.
That's right.
He was in Lord of the Rings. He can play comedy bits. He can play serious. I mean, he can do Ron.
I mean, he's an actor that can.
He's an actor.
Yes, he is an actor. A thespian.
A thespian. Yes,
that's right. But yeah, playing Ollivander, I think, would be perfect for him, and it wouldn't be something that would have upset the other Dumbledore.
No. We've got Peeves.
Now, as I said before, Peeves is the Hogwarts poltergeist.
He was, yes. Never actually saw him.
No.
Apparently, there was some test footage done,
which we haven't seen.
Which it's not available.
No, it's not.
Because it was Rick Mail that they had as it originally.
He would have been brilliant. Would have been amazing. He would have been. He is Peeves.
But I say, unfortunately, he wasn't. He died many years ago.
That's right. Otherwise, we would have put him in. To be fair.
Because you only have to look at, if you look at Drop Dead Fred, you can look a bit of there and see what Peeves could have been. Something like that. But, obviously for that, we're going for Peeves on this one. We're going for Robert Carlyle. Now, I picked this picture because this is one from Once Upon a Time. That's him. He's playing Rumpelstiltskin, isn't it? And you can see the sort of bit between them, like the sort of mischievous bit that he could play on it, and so it could go very well with him.
He was obviously in Full Monty as well, which is a good film.
Yeah,
it really does. It makes me giggle.
Yeah. Flood.
Sorry.
Flood.
Flood. I love Flood. It's a really good one.
Yeah.
Flood is.
Yeah,
I love my disaster bits, don't I?
Yeah.
And he is fantastic. He can play different roles.
Yeah.
But I could see him being quite cheeky.
Yeah.
And
so I was sure to pick that picture because it shows him like that, and he shows him. He looks the cheeky, mischievous.
I also think he'd have so much fun doing that role.
Oh yeah.
Rick Mail, bless his heart, would have done. But I think Robert could really, or Mr. Carlyle could really.
I think Bob could do it well.
Yeah, good old Robbie.
Yeah. We've got Peter Pettigrew.
Now, again, he was played brilliantly. He was exactly how I imagined Peter Pettigrew to be.
Yeah.
I mean, really, really good.
Yeah.
So, although I obviously didn't like the character because he's a baddie, he was played incredibly well.
Yeah. For this one, we've gone for Bern Gorman.
Now, Bern he was in Torchwood. He was the Doctor in Torchwood.
Yeah.
He was also in Game of Thrones. He was the one that killed Mormont and drank from his skull.
I say he's been in numerous different bits.
I have seen him playing mostly bad or baddies.
Yeah.
But not just baddies. I mean, when he was in Torchwood, he was a bit of a man that liked to go to bed with different ladies.
Yeah.
I'm not quite sure how to word it on here. And he didn't really care about anything other than himself. He found his feet and became a more lovable character once he was dead.
Yeah, but he can play
because he carried on
different bits. Yeah,
I'm not saying that he had to die to be good. He
Yeah.
Watch Torchwood. It's good.
But yeah, so you can play different bits, and he looks quite
Yeah,
quite
disturbed.
disturbing, sneaky sort of. He could be, isn't it? So yeah, it was. The next one is Irma Prince even.
Hints.
Now Irma Prince is the librarian.
She is. There's also a bit of a pot to talk about whether or not her and Filch were involved, but they are certainly friends, and they do believe in punishment or chucking kids out of the library if they speak.
Yeah.
And things like, I mean, they're both very much for the rules, so I could see them getting on quite well.
Yeah.
You two. Shh.
For that, we've got Ruth Shane.
Now, I've seen her in a hell of a lot of things. I've seen her in some really emotional, true story ones.
She Unforgiven.
I'm going to have to check now because it's going to bug me. She is known for Another Year, Vera Drake, Run Fat Boy Run, My Hopes. It's got to be. Oh, there we go. Look, here we are. The After, Hijack, the Nevers. Oh, she was in Strike apparently.
All right.
Woman in White, Prime Suspect. She was in.
Yeah.
Midsummer Murders, of course. Unforgotten. Darren's quite right. She was the coach's wife.
That's right.
She used to be a white supremacist. Not her in real life, guys. I might add.
Yeah.
But yeah, she is an incredible actress, and she can play things quite straight. And she sort of fell into the role for us, really, didn't she? It's sort of how we sort of imagined her, as it were.
Right. Next one is Madame Poppy Pomfrey.
Now, Madame Pomfrey is the hospital matron.
She is.
At Hogwarts.
Yeah.
I actually love who played her originally. Again, really well cast.
Yeah.
And there was only one person I could think of that would be perfect for the role, and Jenny Agutter. Call the Midwife, Sister Julianne, absolutely incredible actress. I've seen her in so many different things.
Loads of bits.
She really has. I mean, I'd look it up on my phone, but to be perfectly honest with you, I don't think
it's
going to be a long list. She has got that softness, and again, she's sort of got that caring role to her. And the minute I actually sort of put some thought into who reminded me of Madame Pomfrey, she just sat up and slapped me in the face, really. Not literally, guys, I might add. No. But yeah, I just think, she'd make a brilliant Madame Pomfrey.
Right. And we've got James Potter,
which is, of course, Harry's father.
Yeah. Right.
Now we're talking James Potter as around the ages when he died, not the memories
not the young
that because again we haven't, because the children need to be something relatively new.
Yeah. But for that, we've gone for Kit Harington.
I just like him.
He's been in different bits, but he's mostly
Game of Thrones.
Jon Snow, Game of Thrones.
Yeah, he also was in Guy Fawkes. He played.
He didn't play Guy Fawkes.
He didn't. No, he didn't. I think obviously he was a relative of his, I believe.
I've only seen it once.
It was good. It really was good. But yeah, I really like him as an actor. Again, he's incredible. He really is.
So we thought he could pull it off well.
Yeah, I mean, he's absolutely ideal for the role, really. He's the right sort of age as well. And to be fair, you could have Lily Potter as Ygritte. Sorry, his wife Rose, but no.
Yeah.
Anyway.
You did. Oh. Lily Potter is Rose Leslie.
Yeah.
Who's actually his wife.
They're actually, They're married. They've
Well, they actually,
got a little
well,
one
she
in real
actually is
life.
when she's got green
But
eyes
she
as
is
well.
perfect for
She's
yeah.
got long ginger hair.
She
long
screams.
hair. She's got so she's got green eyes.
Yeah, and so she screams Lily Potter. She
Yeah.
really does. She'd be perfect
Yeah.
for it. And I love the fact that they are actually together in real life. They met on Game of Thrones when she was playing a wildling, Ygritte, who he had her as a prisoner at one point and things like that. And you know, she was his first love basically, and she is an amazing actress. She's been in so many things. But yeah, I just love them as a couple, and I just think that with that diversity they would have Lily and James down.
Yeah. And Professor Quirrell.
With a name like that, it's not really any wonder that he went evil. But in actual fact,
it's also not one that I never actually mentioned his first name in the film either.
No. Now, to be fair, Professor Quirrell, to be perfectly honest, he wasn't the best Defence Against the Dark Arts teacher, and he had Voldemort in the back of his head, but not all the time. You see, that was part of the punishment that he sort of clung on to him in the end. But again, the actor that played Professor Quirrell was absolutely spot on.
Yeah,
really good. So who did we go for?
We went for Johnny Lee Miller. But Johnny Lee Miller has been in different things. So he was in Trainspotting, both of them. He was in Elementary. He played Sherlock.
He did, and he is a fabulous actor. I loved it. I absolutely love Elementary. It's really good, and if you haven't seen it, it's well worth a watch. He is a good actor. He really is. He can play slightly strange, and he has got that diversity to his character.
Yeah.
Again, if they had him in for another part that was more in depth, great, because I think he's a brilliant actor. But I just think that he would make.
I don't know whether they're going to do the flashback bits of him, because when he was going in the forest with vampires and bits.
I mean, honestly, guys, it would be so worthwhile. He was
hunting vampires, wasn't he?
But at least, at least he was actually, had something about him. When I say he wasn't a particularly good teacher, it was sort of like he was never supposed to be.
No.
But in reality, he was actually really good at Defence Against Dark Arts.
Defence Against Dark Arts place was cursed.
It was cursed, yeah.
It was cursed. Tom Riddle came back in there after he left and wanted a post of it, and they wouldn't give it to him. So it was cursed.
After that, nobody lasted more than a year. No. Which is fine. However, that's sort of something that came up afterwards, because in the book it actually implied he had been doing the role. Because he went on holiday and came back a bit peculiar. So I don't know whether you'd really call it. He had no problems in the first year and then had a year with Voldemort stuck in his head. So, I don't know. Yeah. It certainly was cursed for him in that respect, because he didn't go back to it as a normal person.
No. And we've got Rowena Ravenclaw, the Grey Lady.
She was indeed. No. Yes. No. Yes. Yes. Yeah, she's quite right. Rowena Ravenclaw was, and
unknown Ravenclaw was the mother.
Was the mother? Yeah, that's right. That's why I was getting thrown. Every time I get thrown on that, But yeah, Rowena is
one of the ghosts.
Yes, she is. She's the Ravenclaw ghost, and she was actually murdered by the bloody Baron.
And for that, we've gone for Alicia Bailey. You're the one who picked her. I've got no idea what she was in.
Oh, goodness, I'm useless at names. Right, so Alicia Bailey is another star from Call the Midwives. She calls everybody precious. She I think the last episode of Call the Midwife, she'd gone back home to look after a poorly aunt, I believe.
Oh,
I
look at
don't
me,
know.
I've
My
watched it.
my memory is quite rough, but I just thought she would be perfect for this part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got Madame Roseberta.
Right, now Madame Rosemerta is the landlady of the Three Broomsticks, which is the pub in Hogsmeade. It's one of the pubs in Hogsmeade. The other one, of course, is run by Dumbledore's brother. But she actually had more of a significance in the book, which I don't really want to go into if you haven't seen it. However, we had somebody in mind for this.
Yeah.
So we went
for Beverly Callard.
Now she played in Two Pints of Lager.
She played Two Pints of Lager. Yeah.
I'm trying to think. She was Donna's mother.
Donna Henshaw's
mother. That's right. And I believe she was also that's right, Flo. Floella Benjamin.
No.
It was. Because she used to say that
like Floella Benjamin.
No, her name. Her name first of all was Floella Benjamin before she became a Henshaw. But no, she is sort of like that brassy, strong woman. Emmerdale? I think so. I think she was. She was in one of the soaps anyway. I believe it was Emmerdale, and it was perfect for.
And on that bit there, you can see she was in I'm a Celebrity.
I mean, she's still gorgeous. She's still, she could take that part and run with it.
Yeah.
It was always going to be Donna's mum.
Yeah.
Because I always have trouble remembering Flo.
Yeah. Rufus
Scamander. Something like that.
Scrimgeour.
He was described as lion-like in the book almost. He took over from Fudge when everybody found out that Voldemort really was back, and Fudge got the sack.
Yeah.
So he took over from him.
Yeah. For that, we've gone with Julian Rintup. He was in Green Wing.
He was.
He's been in numerous of. He was in Marple. All different bits.
Yeah, again, good actor. I've seen him play different parts.
And he has got the lion mane.
He's got the lion look about him. In actual fact,
but his face does as well. The beard there as well,
in Green Wing, the dotty one.
Yeah, Michelle Gomez.
That's right. The one we've got up for Minerva, she's absolutely obsessed by him and refers to him as his lion's mane.
Yeah,
and it's just he is perfect. He really is.
Yeah. Right, we've got Kingsley Shacklebolt. Kingsley Shacklebolt. We've got Patterson Joseph. Now he's been in different bits.
He has,
but the only bit that I can actually think of is Green Wing.
So, again, Kingsley Shacklebolt is quite a large, imposing character. It's very strong aura, and I just could see him playing the role really well.
Yeah.
Now, in actual fact, apparently he's been in Wonka, which was the new film. Yeah, he plays Slugworth, which was
Slugworth, yes,
the spy that wasn't.
That's right. Yeah.
He was in Doctor Who Classic Doctors once.
All right.
Velveteen Rabbit. Daddy's Girl, The Sandman, Vigil, Getting Better. I mean, as I said, he's been a lot of different bit casts.
Yeah.
But as Darren said, he was the attractive IT guy. And he's got a super smooth voice.
Yeah.
And he has that way of making you feel protected.
Yeah.
That's the sort of character he gives off, basically. And I could just see him being an amazing Kingsley.
Right. We've got Rita Skeeter. Yeah, Rita Skeeter is the nasty journalist from
Hmm.
the
She
papers.
is. I mean, again, it's a shame actually because there was quite a lot of her that wasn't
Oh,
in
I wonder,
it.
we're going to get Psycho Hermione.
Yeah,
Because
Darren's.
because Rita Skeeter turns into a beetle. Because
If you, yeah,
cause
she's an
she's, no,
animagus.
but she's unregistered
She
animagus.
is an unregistered
And
animagus.
Hermione puts her in a jar and keeps her in there. Shakes the jar.
If you read the books, you can sort of see how Hermione thinks on things, but she has got that little bit of darkness inside her, guys. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
She'd never go dark,
No.
but she's a super strong woman.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, but Rita Skeeter, I mean,
Yeah.
in the film, she was brilliant,
Yeah.
but she was so underused.
Yeah. We'll go for this for Natalie Dormer.
Now, Natalie Dormer, I absolutely love, and
Yeah.
she's so quirky. I just could see her being Rita really easily.
Yeah.
She was, of course, in Game of Thrones.
She was.
She was also in Hunger Games.
She was, yeah.
I love Hunger Games. I love Game of Thrones.
Amongst other things.
So, she's been in a lot, guys. Yeah. And honestly, truly, I just think that, she would make a brilliant Rita Skeeter.
Yeah. We've got Professor Severus Snape.
Now, Alan Rickman, R.I.P., absolutely loved him.
Yeah.
I loved Alan Rickman for a very long time anyway because there were so many different things in that I actually watched.
Yeah.
So it was always going to be a bit of a sticky one, but we actually did come up with someone in the end.
Yeah, we came up with Tom Ellis.
Mm-hmm.
Tom Ellis
plays Lucifer.
Lucifer.
Mm-hmm.
He was also the sort of love interest in Miranda.
He was, yes.
But he was younger.
Now, Tom Ellis has been in quite a few different things, but honestly, yes. I just think that, he has got the ability to play Snape. Yeah. Now, admittedly, honestly, hand on heart, there is no one apart from Alan Rickman that could truly own that role.
No.
But Alan Rickman is no longer with us, and we had to try and find someone. And I am a bit of a fan of Tom Ellis, I must admit. So I just thought, do you know what? And it helps as well. I mean, he's a nice looking bloke, isn't he?
He's nice looking. He can play the sinister sort of.
He can. He can play sinister really well. But I think that with Snape's story, because it's one of the most diverse stories in Harry Potter, and I just think he would play the parts absolutely fantastically.
Right. And we've got Professor Pomona Sprout.
Now, she is actually head of Hufflepuff.
Yep.
And also the herbology teacher.
Yep. And we've gone for her is Linda Bassett.
Now, again, Call the Midwives, amongst other things. She's been in a lot, actually. I just think she could play Sprout to an absolute T. The original actress that played Sprout, can't understand why people are still interested in it, because it was 25 years 25 years ago, and people and it was for kids.
Yeah.
I mean, I want somebody that's going to actually, have passion for that role. I'm not taking it away from her. She's a brilliant actress.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've just seen different sides to Linda Bassett in Call the Midwife. And yeah, I think she is more than capable. You will notice that quite a few of these things, like people that we've picked, are from things that we watch a lot. Because obviously,
Right. Well, Tom the Barman. Yeah. Tom the Barman. He was the barman of the Leaky Cauldron.
Yeah, he was the publican of the Leaky
Yeah.
Cauldron.
Now, in the first couple of films, he was just an old guy.
Yeah.
Then he became a strange looking guy.
Yeah, he sort of had a hunchback
Mm.
and bald head and
Mm.
a tooth
Mm.
and the whole tooth and nothing but the
Mm.
tooth. But
But
yeah,
we decided to be, we didn't want that much, but just a just strange and unusual sort of bit.
yeah, we do like strange and unusual, to be
So
fair.
we went for is Milton Jones.
Now,
Now I know Milton Jones isn't necessarily an actor. I don't know if he has done any acting work. He's a stand
there's
up comedian.
yeah, but there's not a lot of acting really to
Yeah.
Tom the Barman, but he is essential to be
But
in there.
you have to act
And
essentially because he's a stand up comedian.
you,
So
yeah,
and he
this is
does
it, of
comedy bits. So you
course.
have to.
But he's a little bit batty, and
Mm.
we just thought, he would make a perfect Tom. He really would.
Mm.
Um, Again, a lot of the shopkeepers and publicans were underused, but again, it's time sensitive in films, and
Right.
it's unlike with the books, you can really go to town.
Mm.
But with films, you've still got a timeline.
That's
But
right.
yeah, he'd make a good Tom.
Yeah. And we've got Pious Thickness,
Now he is the one that took over.
the Ministry of Magic.
Yes, he was Minister of Magic after
Voldemort
the
took
Ministry
over.
fell,
Yeah.
and Voldemort, basically, he was Voldemort's fan.
Yep.
Now, in actual fact, the actor that did the role for that was super brilliant for that role.
Mm.
So, we had to pick somebody else though, and we went
Ralph Little.
Yeah, I mean,
Ralph Little was like started off as comedy bits.
Yeah,
there was 2 pints.
Two pints of lager and a packet of crisps. Yeah, Royal Family, of course. He played Anthony Royal.
Yeah,
and also
he's also done Death in Paradise.
Yes, he has.
Like
yeah,
and he has done more serious
to
roles
be
as well.
to be perfectly honest, he is extremely underrated.
Yeah.
And I just think, he would make a really good Pious. He really would. Again, I wouldn't be disappointed if he was put in a different role because he is a jolly good actor. It just works really.
Yeah, and Andromeda Tonks.
Now, Andromeda Tonks is
Nymphadora
or Dora or Tonks' mother,
and also
and she is also one of the
Black sisters.
That's right. The House of Black was a hugely purebred, and Andromeda married a Muggle, so she was one of the ones that got blasted off of the lovely tapestry. Thank you, that's the word. Now she could look quite haughty, but she's got a personality to her. Now you've got Bellatrix, who is dark haired. You've got Narcissus, who was half black, half blonde, and then Andromeda was supposed to be blonde. So it was almost like they stood in a row, So, however, we chose for Andromeda Tonks
Ronnie O'Connor.
Mm-hmm.
Now, she's been different bits. I believe she was impressionist to start off with.
Yeah, I think that she was.
Yeah.
She was in Penelope, Death in Paradise, Doctor Who, the Fourth Doctor Adventure, apparently. Last Tango in Halifax. Still Game, Doctors, Stella. She's been in quite a lot, guys, basically. I can't find the bit that I know her from, basically. And I can't see my eyesight's not great, so I, can't focus as well.
Yeah.
As Darren can see the pictures quite clearly, I'm sort of having to guess. But yeah, she's quite a diverse actress. And, I mean, she works. It does.
Yeah.
does work. I know she's dark haired and bits like that. But
It's all right.
honestly, I don't.
Most of the Wheaties weren't ginger.
Yeah, I know this is it. You can either wear wigs or you can, have your hair dyed like poor old Draco, bless him. Not the
Yeah.
hamster. I'm talking about
I know
the
his head nearly fell
Tom
out, didn't it?
Felton, bless him.
He had died so often his head nearly fell out. Yeah.
I thought it was quite sweet actually. Most of the boys had crushes on Hermione, apart from the she had a crush on Tom Felton who played Draco.
Yeah.
But the only person he had a crush on was his auntie, Bellatrix Strange. So right.
Hang on for now, we've got Nymphadora tongues.
So of course this is Tonks we're referring to. This is she can change her features so she can like have pig noses, duck noses.
Much more than the actual bits.
Yeah, I can't remember the name of it, unfortunately. Yeah. It's a bit of a mouthful. But she can change her hair colour, so she completely disguises herself completely.
We've got Anna Popplewell.
Right.
This one.
Anna Popplewell.
Which is another one of Debbie's ones.
It is. Right. She actually played Susan in Narnia.
She did.
She did, right, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Now I know obviously she's got dark hair, but honestly, I mean it's not just that, she's been in quite a lot since then.
Yeah,
to
that's
be
right.
perfectly honest,
this picture's older than that.
Oh crikey, she's been in a hell of a lot. But yeah, she is, and again she's not overly what I'd call overly known actress. She's been in a lot of bit parts, but I don't know, she just sort of gives Tonks vibes to me. I don't know why particularly, but I mean, as Tonks' hair can change to like bubblegum pink and bright violet and bits like that, because she does quite a lot in the book.
Yeah.
I mean, she even made a point of saying, her aura training, she's so clumsy. She trips over everything. But her stealth skills were questionable. However, her disguises, because she can change her features into anything pretty much.
That's right.
I mean, really underused actress. Character. Underused character. And also, to be honest, she could actually have gone a lot further in the books. But to be honest, it would have made things too easy almost. That's right. Love her character though.
All right. We've got Professor Sybil Trelawney.
Yeah. I loved Emma Thompson. She is a fantastic actress. And she played the part beautifully. But we had to have someone different.
Yeah, we've gone for Tamsin Gregg.
But no, Tamsin Gregg, she played Dr. Caroline something or other in Green Wing.
Yeah.
Really scatty.
She was in
quite nutty.
She was in some different comedy sketch shows as well. I think she was in.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
But she sort of reminds me of Emma Thompson, if that makes sense, and that's why I just thought she'd be perfect for the role of Trelawney.
Yeah.
Trelawney. Why is it I always say Trelawney? Who knows? Once we're on the postcard, guys. Yeah. And next,
Dolores Umbridge.
Now, the actress that played her, Uma. No, it's not, is it?
No.
I can't remember her name. I'm sorry.
I can't remember her name either.
My head's falling off. Right, now, of course, Dolores Umbridge, to be perfectly honest, was played perfectly. Imelda Stanton.
That's it, yeah.
Yeah.
Imelda Stanton.
She was played perfectly. I mean, I was traumatised when I had the unfortunate thing of somebody coming up wearing a pink fluffy cardigan, looking very much like her, and I had a complete breakdown. Yeah, she's traumatised little old ladies in fluffy pink cardigans and hair bows and what have you. For me, forever, I think. But she is an amazing actress. So again, it's another one that was difficult to follow because when they're so
Yeah.
perfectly,
Yeah.
but you've got to come up with different ones
Hmm.
apart from.
Move on with Annabelle Apsian.
She was apparently best known for playing Monica Gallagher in the hit television comedy drama Shameless, which apparently she played over some years. She was also lucky her Johnny Depp. She was in From Hell, blooming awful film, but was it not? No, it
From
wasn't
Hell's a
From
good
Hell.
film.
No, that was good, wasn't it?
Yeah.
You're quite right. No, it's the one Angel did that was bad.
Valentine.
That's right. That was terrible. In our opinion, okay, this is only ever our opinion before he jumps. Right. So she actually plays Violet in Called Midwives. She was in Father Brown briefly. Oh, she was in Torval and Dean. Oh, she was in Halcon. That was very
Halcyon,
good.
yeah.
Halcyon, that's the one. Actually, she's been in quite a lot. Doc Martin, Doctors, Mother's Son, Body Farm. That was jolly good. She's been in a lot of different bits and bobs. She is more than capable of playing this part.
Yeah.
There's not really a lot else I can say to that, really.
No. Right. We're going on to Professor Septimum Vector.
Now, this is actually the astronomy teacher, I believe.
Aramanthe?
Oh, Aramanthe. Yeah,
something like that. Aramanthe.
Beg your pardon. Yeah. Because obviously there were quite a few different lessons, hence why Hermione needed a time turner. But yeah, she obviously never had an actual official character in there. They had different people up at the school table, the head, like the teacher's table, but they never really labelled her. Right.
So we have got Ruth Wilson.
Now, I love her.
Yeah. No, she was in Mrs. Wilson.
She
was actually her grandmother, wasn't
it? Yes. Great grandmother. Or something.
Yeah. She was also in
Golden Compass.
His Dark Instruments.
That's the one. Dark Materials.
Dark Materials.
Yeah. She played Mrs. Coulthard. That's it. Now she is too big a name. We know that to play Vector. However, we thought if we threw her in, because to me she looks like somebody that could play Vector. We just thought, well, maybe somebody else has got an idea of a better role that she could play. But honestly, I can't see her being picked for it purely because she's quite a well-established actress now as well. But she would be good.
All right. Well, Lord Voldemort.
Snake Lips himself.
Yeah. Now, difficult one to go on.
Ralph Fiennes did Ralph Fiennes was Voldemort, wasn't he? He was brilliant.
He did very well on it. But one on here we've got Christian Bale. Now he can change. He changes his body bits. And
he's amazing.
Things a different bit. This one, the picture next to him was film he was in recently. Can't remember what it was. It was a superhero one, I believe. Yeah.
I don't know. You know more than I do.
That looks very much like.
Yeah. He looked like basically. I mean, Darren said to me, because when we were discussing Voldemort, he came up with Christian Bale and showed me the photos at the time.
He did the Machinist. He was really, really, really thin. He was Batman.
I know he's absolutely incredible as an actor. There's quite a few, isn't there? There's quite a few things he's been in, and he is a jolly good actor, and he would make a fantastic Voldemort. He really would. I mean, it's not too much of a jump from that, but then that might actually play against him in the people that decide who plays the parts. But yeah, our vote is Christian Bale for Voldemort.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And getting near the end now, Arthur Weasley.
The Weasleys were the hardest because I love Mark Williams.
Yeah.
And I loved Molly Weasley, who I'm having a blind. But yeah, so who did we go for, Darren, in the end?
We went for Martin Clunes.
Now, I know he can play extremely straight, he can play comedy, but I just think that Arthur Weasley would be quite a good role for him. And yeah, it's really difficult to follow Mark Williams. It really is. And, you know, we just thought it would work, basically.
Martin Clunes was in bits from like They're Behaving Badly.
Yeah.
Early on, Doc Martin.
As I said.
Yeah.
But no, he has been in a lot. And I've recently seen him in Manhunt.
Oh, yeah.
And honestly, I think it would be... He's certainly got the ability to play different characters. And I think this would be a bit of a different character for him, being a dad, you know, playing that sort of...
Yeah.
I'm not talking about, you know, but the sort of jovial dad sort of thing would be good for him.
Right, we've got Charlie Weasley.
Now, Charlie Weasley, you never met. He went to Romania and worked with dragons.
Yeah.
He's more stocky in stature, and his interest is only ever really been in dragons. But he did actually come into the books, you see. So it would have been nice had we have had all the Weasleys there.
You did have a picture of him.
Yes, but come on, it wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't really. You know.
Charlie Weasley went for Brian Dick.
Now
he's been in Torchwood.
Yeah.
And other things that I can't think of at the moment. He played Adam in Torchwood.
I did play Adam in Torchwood, doesn't he? Yeah.
He's been in a lot of different things.
To be honest, he sort of stood apart in Torchwood in a way, and that's sort of how I imagine Charlie is. His family is incredibly important to him. But his love of dragons is incredible.
You don't have to look at that picture there, you could see him.
You could see him. Yeah. You could see him trying to, I don't know, brush the teeth of a Hungarian horntail of something. Yeah. He would really work well as Charlie Weasley, in our opinion.
Yeah. And we've got Molly Weasley.
Oh, God. Julia Waters. That's
Julie
Waters. That's who played the original.
Yeah.
And as I said, Arthur and Molly were were a couple that were really difficult.
Yeah.
So we chose
Olivia Colman.
Now, to be honest, she's been in Green Wing. She's been in lots of other things. She's slightly dotty, but she can be. Oh yes, she was. She played the Queen in The Crown. Absolutely amazing actress. She can really cover a lot of angles. And
she's a bit dotty anyway.
Yeah, she is. You know, her role in Green Wing is one of my favourites, to be perfectly honest. I love her as an actress. She is really diverse. And
you could actually see her being like
you could Molly see Weasley. Her she's being Molly Weasley.
A stern bit.
Where have you been?
Yes.
Yeah.
And that is the lot. Right.
Now, obviously, as we said, we haven't chosen children because there's no point.
No, because they're going to be no anyway.
We didn't find anybody for Bill Weasley.
No. We
have so many different ideas. Bill Weasley, we thought, well, why don't you guys have a go? He's got long hair. He's got a dragon tooth earring. He's just cool. There's no other word for him. He is cool. And you know, he's a curse breaker at Gringotts. It just, you know, and when him and Fleur meet, it's like they met actually when they were when she was working at Gringotts to improve her English, I believe. And yeah, I think it was pretty much love at first sight sort of thing.
Yeah.
And you know, I just we need somebody that's good for him, somebody that is cool. So yeah.
So anyway, there, that's our lot. What do you think? You only like any of them? You have favourites of your own?
Yeah.
Please let us know.
Yeah, let us know because we're interested, guys. I mean, this has been such fun to do. Anyway, let us know what you guys think. As Darren said, we are really interested, honestly. And yeah, I'm just waiting on that the TV series now. Fingers crossed. I'll get to see all of them. Well, your mother said that as well, didn't she?
Yeah. So, no, you know what to do. Like, subscribe, ring the little bell. Give us thumb up, thumb down. You can't give us one of them, so they don't exist.
And I'm way slow at this today. And as always, my lovelies, be different, a very merry unhoo-hoo, and empty can rattle. Boop.